been 5 days since Michael Jackson died. Police, joined now by the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency, subpoena medical records of at least 5 doctors treating the star in the weeks before his death.
It isn't just Dr. Murray who might be implicated here. Michael Jackson had doctors all around the world prescribing different medications in different aliases. Some of the aliases include Josephine Baker, Omar Arnold. He used whatever really name he could come up with in order to get his drugs.
One real important reason I used an alias for him, because I didn't want anyone stealing his records.
Arnold Klein is Michael Jackson's long-term dermatologist, but Arnold Klein gave us a real indication that Michael Jackson might have had a problem with propofol.
He called me one weekend and he asked me if I wouldn't administer propofol, and I told him he was absolutely out of his mind.
On July 22nd, police and the feds traveled to Houston, the site of Murray's main office.
The criminal investigation just jumped to the next level. Detectives flew all the way to Texas looking for evidence.
The next week, federal agents raid Murray's other office in Las Vegas, where they find receipts for 5 bottles of propofol he purchased just 6 weeks before Michael's death. They also seize records from Mickey Fine Pharmacy in Beverly Hills, where Michael was a longtime customer.
DEA right now is looking for evidence of improper dispensing of controlled substances.
Authorities discover a new twist in the case when they examine Murray's office files. The doctor has serious financial and legal troubles.
Dr. Murray has multiple paternity suits against him and a lot of claims of fraud against him.
Murray was being paid a reported $150,000 a month by Michael's concert producers AEG Live to help Michael sleep.
Michael had interviewed at least 4 other doctors. They all declined because of ethics. They said they could not administer these drugs in a residential setting. Murray was the only person willing to take the gig because he needed the money so badly.
Court documents released today reveal the cause of death.
On August 7th, the L.A. Coroner's Office determines Michael Jackson died of acute propofol intoxication, combined with at least 2 other sedatives. To find out which drugs caused Michael's death, toxicologists examined blood, urine, and bile samples, as well as liver and stomach tissue, and even the jelly-like fluid found in his eyeball chamber. The samples are analyzed by a gas chromatograph, which identifies drugs by separating them into their chemical components. The mass of each component determines the drug levels in his system. Not surprisingly, lethal amounts of propofol were found among all the specimens sampled, and traces of other sedatives were ID'd in most fluids.
When you take into consideration the other drugs that Murray did give him in combination with propofol, it was like this lethal cocktail.
Experts had doubted Murray's claim that he gave Michael only 25 milligrams of propofol, and the autopsy results support their suspicions. To properly render a patient of Michael's size unconscious, anesthesiologists suggest a dose of about 125 milligrams. The 25 milligram amount Dr. Murray says he gave Michael wouldn't even knock out someone half his size.
In my experience, 25 milligrams in a man Mr. Jackson's size, even in the presence of these other medications, would not have been sufficient to make him unconscious or develop respiratory failure.
On August 18th, Dr. Murray releases his first and only statement via YouTube.
I have done all I could do. I told the truth, and I have faith the truth will prevail.
6 days later, the toxicology results go public, along with a major announcement.
The L.A. County coroner has ruled Michael Jackson's death a homicide.
This meant that the king of pop had died at the hands of somebody else.
Dr. Murray expected to be in handcuffs within hours after the autopsy was released. Murray was shaking in his boots.
Coming up, criminal charges loom for Dr. Murray. Next, on Famous Crime Scene, Michael Jackson.